My name is Jordan Davis, and I'm the Executive Director of Smart Columbus.
I am Haley Allison. I'm the Director of Operations here at Smart Columbus.
Smart Columbus is a collaborative innovation lab that anticipates and advances what's new and next at the intersection of technology and community good. We're working every day to make the region a more prosperous region for everyone.
What was happening that led you to first call Storyforge?
So Smart Columbus was founded based off of winning a very competitive national grant. And for about 4.5 years, this community was laser focused on achieving those grant deliverables and really transforming the way we think about transportation in this community. And while that grant was coming to an end, we wanted to go through an exercise to really think through, should we continue this effort, or should we end it at the point of the grant? And we brought in Storyforge to help me as I was taking on the leadership role and transitioning the organization to determine, once we got that yes, we want to continue the work, we see value in this effort, what should we be focused on? I think we started where Haley, you and the Storyforge team met with all of our stakeholders. So you met with board members, community members, people associated with our work, and really got to the essence of what's valued about the value of what we do. What are we doing for the community that nobody else is doing? Where's their opportunity for this vehicle of Smart Columbus to add even more value? So the first step was getting kind of all of our purpose, mission, beliefs, values, all documented on one page. We had, I think, various different articulations of all of those things in different buckets and in different words. And so simplifying and codifying all of that into one page was a first step. And we have that page hung up in our boardroom.
Taking it one piece at a time for what is our vision? What is our purpose? What's our mission, to really become better acquainted with it and not just like read the text and have it be a static document, but to read the text and then talk about it and then define examples of it and to then operationalize it.
It's the first thing we give to every prospective hire and new hire. It's kind of our guiding document. We do quarterly offsites with our team that Storyforge facilitates, where we're continuing to internalize what those words mean, how our daily work ladders up to it. So it's really a guide and a direction setter for us.
Are there any specific measurable or kind of observable outcomes that you can point to as results of the work that we've done together?
2.5 years ago, Smart Columbus had a lot of ideas and a lot of could be's or maybes or kind of seeds of what we might do. But 2.5 years later, our work is much more defined, and not just what we're doing, but how we're doing it. We weren't in a position where we even had the language to describe that 2.5 years ago. We have since landed 2 massive projects of over $40 million in investment within our community that we have the privilege of operating, our community information exchange and all of our digital equity work. Where I've seen the framework drive a ton of value is making those decisions between something that a project that we should take on because it is good for the community and because there's no one else who's going to do it and Smart Columbus is best positioned, and kind of the shiny objects or new fun things that we could do because we could do anything, but that maybe are not going to drive as much impact because they don't align with our vision or within our mission of what we are good at.
We've worked really hard to build a culture here within our workforce. So we have transitioned our team pretty holistically since the pandemic and put new talent into our team and reorganized. And we've reorganized against the framework and we've reorganized by attracting talent that really believes in the mission that we're trying to achieve. And that's something that motivates people to want to be here. And in addition to that, we've been working on our values and mindsets, and that has become a filter for how we're recruiting talent as well.
What does that mean then for the organization? If you have everyone on the team seeing themselves as part of this one organization with one purpose and one set of beliefs and principles that they're following, how does that translate for your external partners?
Well, our work is stakeholder rich, probably like everybody's work if you think hard enough about it. There's a lot of people that touch our work, benefit from our work, or care about the types of issues that we want to tackle. And so broadening the inputs gave us a more fuller picture of where value could be created and where value needs to be continued. So I think that was really instrumental in us having confidence about how we move forward, was to break the boardroom, I guess is a good way to say it. Really, Storyforge, I feel like, is an extended part of our team. I think why it's helpful to have you keeping us focused on this and being a part of it is, one, the accountability. I think the accountability of making sure we're revisiting the framework and keeping that front and center. And every time we bring on a new team member, going back to the beginning. And, it's easy when you're in the day-to-day work going, oh, we've done that. Oh, they can get it. They'll catch on. But to be really intentional about it, just like we were when it was new, is really, really important. And so you help us do that. I also would say that Storyforge, not in the formal facilitated and those formal deliverables, but is also a really good thought partner as problems emerge. It's really nice to bring in Storyforge when we're having a variety of challenges, whether it's, organizing this thing for some organizational change we're about to go through, or, hey, we have a gap in this capacity in our organization. How can we think differently about this? And Storyforge is quick to have a creative way to approach it, or pause for a brainstorm session, or has a extended part of their team that they can bring to add into our team. So it's been a lot more than just the formal deliverables.
The other thing that Storyforge is great at is not just helping to frame things out, but it's the language portion of it too, and the intention and thoughtfulness.
I mean, working with Storyforge is great. It's like working with a friend. I mean, I consider you a friend, and I think that makes going through challenges really hard. I think I've cried on calls with you. I think I've been overwhelmed on calls with you. And then I've also been just so elated and happy and everything's fine. So I think I've gone on a roller coaster of this journey with the organization, and you've been there every step of the way. And that's different than a transactional relationship.
I just think that Haley is just a fun person to work with. I love working with Storyforge.